So another example that we will see today is using the UiPath Acme-test website. So let me log into this website with my credentials. Once I log in, I get navigated to the next page, and here I'm going to take a list of all the invoices. So for that, I'm just going to go to invoices, search for invoices, and then display all invoices. This is going to give me a list of all the invoices and the vendors and the respective vendors that it is available or mapped to. So here now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my program work in such a way. I want to copy all these invoices, and for each invoice, I'm going to copy this information, come back, and I'm going to do a search for invoice and then give the vendor tax ID here and search. So once the search is done, I'm going to again go back, key in the next list of vendor, whatever it may be. So I'm going to do this on iteration. So for all the vendors, where it starts with, if I do a display all vendors, let's consider that the vendor ID starts with DE. So that being the case, let me go ahead and filter those particular vendors list, and then I'm going to do a individual search for all the list that is available. So let me go ahead and do this program, and finally I'm going to go and log out. So let me go ahead and do this program. So here, to reiterate what we have done, we have first started with kill process, where kill process is just going to kill any particular Internet Explorer instance that has been opened, so that we are just making sure that we open a new instance of the Internet Explorer. Then I'm going to log into the acmewebsite.com Acme website uipath.com, and I'm using an open browser to do that. So here are my login information that I'm going to key in and use, and then I'm going to click on the login. Then go back into invoices, search for invoice, and display all invoices. Once that is done, I'm going to do the data scraping of all the search for invoice, all the display, all the invoices that gets displayed on the page. So once this is done, I'm going to load this onto extract data table. So after the extract data table is loaded, I'm going to write that particular information onto an output.xls file, where it is going to be written on sheet 1, and what is going to be written is the entire amount of data that extract data table has. And again, we are shifting the focus back to the browser. So since we are shifting the focus back to the browser, I'm going to use attach browser, then go ahead from the starting page. So at this particular point, my page is going to be at search results. So it is at invoice search results, where it is displaying all the list of vendors, the invoices that is available. Now I'm going to go back to the home and then do the same action of invoices, search for invoices, and then once the search for invoices page loads, I'm going to go and iterate my search action. So what is the iteration activity that I'm going to do is for each row in data table. So here for the iteration activity, I'm just going with the for each row from data table. So here I'm going to go ahead and check the condition of if the vendor tax ID contains or starts with D. So if you say the row of vendor tax ID dot toString dot contains D, so this is going to give me all the list of vendors vendor tax ID that starts with D or that contains D, not starts with D, it contains D. So once you go inside, I'm just going to again search that particular vendor ID, and I'm going to click on the search button. Once the search button happens, it's going to display my information. Once the display is happening, I'm going to go navigate back to the next page to loop through the next available information that contains the vendor tax ID with DE. So this is going to loop through for every action, and I have an attached browser. Since we have shifted the focus from the attached browser to for, I'm going to shift it back to the browser, and I'm going to say from the search page. So it is basically the invoice search results page. So from the search page, you're going to go back and again do the same search for the next vendor ID, vendor tax ID that is available. So once everything is done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a logout. So in the attached browser, the last step will be clicking on the logout button. So after the for each row, I'm clicking on the logout button. So what happens when I run the particular program? It is displaying all the information. It is iteratively doing the action for all the vendor tax IDs that contains DE. So once this search is going to be done, it's going to navigate back to logout. Click on the logout button and come out of your session. So it has logged out and we have successfully come out of the application.